Hello there. Thank you for joining me again for another episode in a series of videos that I'm calling Why Ayurveda? So today we're going to talk about digestive disorders. Fun, right? This is going to be according to Maharishi Ayurveda. And I'm going to talk through maybe some terms that are familiar, and then we'll talk through some that maybe aren't. And again, all this information is going to be directed towards digestive health. So in Ayurveda, specifically Maharishi, who brought us this knowledge from India, he says what begins in the gut can be healed in the gut. So what does that mean necessarily? And how do we help solve these issues in Ayurveda? So if this is your first time, welcome. Ayurveda is an ancient science from India, and it involves pulse reading to take a measure of the body's current state. And the way that this is done is through the measuring of the elements in your system. The 5 elements, again, are earth, water, air, fire, and space. And by placing my fingers on your wrist and taking your pulse, I can determine what levels these doshas are at play in your system. So again, the doshas are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And in digestion, Vata is responsible for secreting the digestive juices that help food move through our digestive tract. It also is responsible for something called peristalsis, which is the way the muscles contract and move the food through our system for processing. And then Pitta is responsible for actually doing something with those digestive juices. So it's responsible for transforming the food into the energy that we need. And then Kapha is responsible for the mucosal lining, or the protective coolant in our engine, if you will, that helps the food and those digestive enzymes, which are acidic, move through our system without damaging the organs. So in the same way that these doshas play a role in our health, they also could play a role in our demise if they go out of balance. So in digestion, in Ayurveda, we hope that it will run smoothly. We hope that the doshas will be in balance, and we hope to have as much energy as we'd like and sleep as deeply as we'd like, but that doesn't always happen in today's society. So what happens when Vata gets disturbed is we could end up in a state of irregular digestion. You might experience constipation or indigestion or gas or bloating, right? You could also experience dryness by the way of like degenerative bones, degenerative organs. If you have too much dryness in your system, you can imagine that engine is not going to run as smoothly. If we have too much Pitta in our system, then that could end up in conditions like hyperacidity or GERD. It could also cause inflammation, issues like skin issues like psoriasis and eczema. It can cause, hernias and ulcers, and all kinds of things happen in your organs and in your tissues. And then if Kapha gets disturbed, that could end up in heaviness or dullness in your system, congestion or growths or toxins in body. We call it ama, which is undigested food. And if that undigested food pairs up with an imbalanced dosha, then we have something called amavisha on our hands, and that's when things get dangerous. It can seep into our tissues, and that can really be the sign of an oncoming chronic condition. So I hope that this helps you understand a little bit better how the doshas are at play in our digestion and what can happen if they are imbalanced. A way to stay in balance is to come and get your pulse read and see an Ayurvedic practitioner regularly so that we can stay on top of these things to prevent any major diseases from slowing you down. Thanks for watching.